Hey, everybody, we're here for a new episode of Five for Talking. We're just about at the playoffs. Look for our tier list, which should be coming next week, hopefully. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show, the boss of all the sauce, Saucy Matthews. And we're just gonna jump right into this one. We'll do a lot of Leafs here, so just look out for that. If I remember to split the episode, I'll do it. But let's talk NHL. You had some stuff you wanted to chat about the Eastern Conference, so why don't you let them have it?
Well, it was based on what you were talking about last week, and the fact is that the Philadelphia Flyers are at this point out of a playoff spot, um, and the fact of the matter is, it's kind of reshaped the bottom two spots of the Eastern Conference, and they're both still up for grabs. Like you got the New York Islanders, Pittsburgh Penguins, Washington Capitals, Philadelphia Flyers, um, all within a couple of points from each other. So anything can happen at this point, and there's about 6 games left. Um, I think we could honestly say the last uh, couple of spots, 3 spots in the Western Conference is pretty much set. In what order, not sure yet, but I think those spots have been filled out with the teams that are currently there right now. But the Eastern Conference seems to be pretty. It's going to be pretty entertaining the last 6 games of the regular season. So you should
Uh,
see hard fought battles between those teams.
I love hard fought bottles.
Bottles.
uh, but yeah, I agree with you. I think the Islanders deservingly have their spot. I think they've been great since the All-Star break. Obviously not a top tier team in the league, but in terms of making the bottom of the playoffs, 100%, I think they should be where they are. Philadelphia, regardless of having wins, I don't care how many wins they've got since then. Post All-Star break, they have been terrible, absolutely terrible. And I know Carter Hart has a lot to do with it, but he, made his own bed and now he has to lie in it. And it's it is what it is for them. I do think going forward into the future they do have a good foundation to build off, but they're not they would have got spanked in the first round of the playoffs. And that is what that is. Pittsburgh, I think, figured it out with Nedovic. I can't remember the goalie's name. I'm not even going to try to. Former Tampa Bay goalie guy. Because Tristan Jarry is not it, and I still don't think Pittsburgh's deserving of a playoff spot. If anything, for me, for the what they've done throughout the season, not to say they're a good team, but I think Detroit should probably get that spot or Washington. But if Pittsburgh gets it, it is what it is. Like, well, who cares, really? You know what I mean? I don't think any of those three teams that squeaked in there from the Central are gonna do anything.
Yeah, I should correct myself. You just corrected me. I forgot to mention the Washington Capitals before, so thank you for reminding me about that. But I agree with everything you just said. Um, I believe Tortorella, calling out his team the way he did, and kind of retracting some of the stuff that he said a few days later, kind of counterproductive in my eyes. Um, Not to say that he lost the room or anything like that, but you know, it, it's still up in the air. Anything can happen, but everything you said, I agree 100%. And I don't know if you want to move on from there.
Yeah, I do. So I think in terms of those final spots, like we'll get off this quick, but do you do you think Washington has a shot to get back in? They've been a little iffy.
Sure. They still got some time to get their together.
What are your thoughts on Tampa Bay?
Well, when you sent me the message about Carolina a week ago and that run that they were going on, Tampa was going on that same run, and it seems as though alongside Anderson, Vasilevsky just found his game as well. I thought Stamkos was playing better, Henman was playing better, but Kucherov is pretty consistent throughout the whole year. Brendan Point has stepped up his game a bit. The guy that's probably having a career right now is Paul. Um, you know, uh, but we got to face facts. Excuse me. Vasilevsky has seemed to have found his game again, and that makes for a very dangerous Tampa Bay team going into the playoffs.
especially with the deadline moves that they made.
Yeah, getting Dumba and Duclair, but they've added some good depth, and I think they can cause some real damage in the playoffs, man. It'd be interesting to see what the final, uh, um, you know, matchups are going to look like because anybody that's going to go up against Tampa, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I think Tampa and Boston are going to beat the crap out of whoever they play on Florida. So I think that's going to be something to look out for there. I still do think the Rangers, at least at this point, look like the strongest team. Carolina has been playing really good. The Rangers' biggest question mark to me is Shesterkin because Quick has been playing better, but also worse. So I don't know like what they're gonna do there. Shesterkin hasn't been very good in the last little bit. Um, thoughts?
You know my feelings on Boston.
Yeah.
I
Okay, so he
mean,
loves Boston. He's a
I
big Brad
mean,
Marchand guy.
hey, I will keep saying it over and over and over again. I was one of the first to come out and say Florida was going to beat Boston last year. I'm not sold on Boston. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna win. I just think they're gonna throw a beating to whoever they play,
No,
which
yeah. I think so too, but I just don't think. I really don't think they're coming out of the first round. I really don't.
that's fair. I think they'll probably get Pittsburgh, right?
Shut down Pasternak, you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. It's just
Actually, they're probably going to get Tampa Bay. The Leafs are going to get screwed here because we're not going to get the benefit of the doo-doo team being added to our four-way connection. We're going to get it's going to be Boston, Florida, Toronto, Tampa Bay,
it's all about
probably.
those. It's all about those doo-doo teams.
Those doo-doo teams. Just shout out to doo-doo teams. By the way, the Vegas Golden Knights blew a 4-1 lead and lost 7-4 with 6 unanswered goals in the second half of the third period on Friday. Uh, Congratulations to the Coyotes. 6 unanswered goals. Caps is dying over there.
I'm dying over here, man.
Let's talk about the Leafs. Let's go into Leafland.
Um. So Mitch Marner comes back. I like the fact that he finally realizes that he needs to spread out the talent a little bit and not just load up his first two lines. It's going to be something that he'll need to do going into the playoffs. I hope he sticks with it. Whatever way he wants to do it, he needs to spread it out. I liked the lineup just before Mitch Marner got injured. I liked Tavares on the third line rather than Nylander on the third line. I like Domi playing with Nylander. I like that one better, but I'm okay with what I saw last night. Obviously, things didn't go as well as they did in the first period, but they got their shit together in the second and third. But I'm well aware that it takes a little time to get it going, and I'm fine with this. I don't mind it at all. Um, but I think they finally realized, and I swear, like I had moments coming out of that first period when it was 0-0 and the game was like pretty boring, that Keith was going to buckle and just like load up his first two lines like he always does. Um, but I'm glad he stuck with it and gave it a chance because it's something that's totally necessary going forward.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that at all. I think they do need to have, which they kind of are not going against it. They're doing it, I guess. On the fourth line, they need to have one kind of quick guy who has the ability to score, because or else you're putting out that fourth line and they're not a threat at all. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be like one little quick guy out there that's gonna have potential to put in a goal. Because Camp and Reeves and whoever else they're putting there is not going to score a goal.
But you got to understand that Reeves brings something to the table that nobody else
But
on
that's
that
fair.
roster
But
does.
put those two
Yeah,
out there with someone who can score a goal.
yeah. I mean, with when Kelly Youngcroft uh becomes healthy, somebody's going to come out of the lineup, and then the roster just becomes that much deeper. Who comes out? I'm thinking Dewar. Uh,
Yeah, because I don't know. Nick Robinson's been pretty. Nick Robertson's been all right.
yes, I agree. He scores goals. However, and it's so obvious to me, like he gets muscled off the puck.
Well,
His
he's yeah.
giveaways are so like he gives a puck up a lot, and that just cannot happen during the playoffs. Like that is something that it's you can't rely on that. Like, but when it's spread open and he gets his chances, man, that guy's got a hell of a shot, and he's got some serious skill. But honestly, he is not strong on the puck at all, and he gives it up a lot. So that's just my feeling on that. Leaf fans are going to come out and disagree with me on that, but I really don't care because I watch the games and I see what I see. So
Okay, so with that being said, the goaltending situation, Samsonov has 17 wins in his last 21 games.
he is by far the clear starter going into the playoffs.
Guys, we need a medic on set.
I'm dying over here. Um, he is the clear cut number one going into the playoffs. He is by far the better goalie right now. Um, you tell me how you feel about this. The Leafs have made the playoffs. It's already set. It's done. In my eyes, Samsonov is good to go. I feel as though they should play Wool for the majority of the games to get him going. And hopefully you got him back to the point where you can roll out two pretty strong goalies going into the playoffs, or Martin Jones. I still like they need to get another goalie going before the season's done.
I think how many games do they have left? 6 at this point. I think you give 2 of those games to Samsonov, whichever are the 2 easiest teams out of those 6 games. You let Wall play 3, and you give the last game right before the playoffs to Martin Jones. Or you play 4 for Wall and 2 for Samsonov.
I'm okay with that.
But
I'm
you
fine
gotta
with
let
that.
Samsonov has to play. You can't not let him play because he's gonna lose the momentum.
I agree. Um, I'm not saying no, don't play him at all. I'm saying like just don't play him as much. You're going to definitely need him for the playoffs. Um, but they got to get Wool back. They got to get him going. And I think that he needs to play the majority of the games for the rest of the season. Um, because it's important. You got to get your depth going as well. You know, if there's another substantial injury, hey, give one game to Matt Murray.
You know the. Can you shut up with Matt Murray already? This guy really likes Matt Murray. I don't get it. Um,
He's a proven winner.
but yeah, I mean, I think Samsonov is the way to go. I don't think there's any questions asked. I think he's been amazing. I think Wall has been a rust bucket lately, and you're right. He could get some more because you're going to need the goalies. Martin Jones is experienced enough that I don't know if he really has to play. I think you can just drop him in. Like he's been in the league, he knows what to do. You know, he doesn't need warm ups. He's the guy you say, okay, listen, you're going, and he's like, all right. You know, like Shorzy, Jones, you're going.
I,
Yeah. Okay.
I
Um,
agree.
I'm not giving any credit to Sheldon Keefe, so never ever take this as me giving credit to him. But he's been all right.
You know what? I'm 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 I'm
No,
I'm gonna
don't
look
say
at
it.
it. I'm gonna look at it as if you are giving Sheldon Creef Some credit.
Sheldon Queef.
I
Um,
can't talk right now.
but listen,
I need to lie
s-
down.
we're gonna let you lie down because we're about to end this episode. I just, I don't think coaching is necessarily the reason why the Leafs are playing better. It's stability and just letting people play on their lines with people. Like they're learning. There's chemistry building. It's the players. They need to get it together for the playoffs.
Agree.
They're still not there yet.
No, no, they're not. I mean, some guys have been out due to injuries, and Keith has said in interviews that we need to get our people back so that we can establish what the lineup's going to be going into the playoffs. You know, they're still making some mistakes that should have been cleaned up by now. I've seen some goals that result in players just puck watching, and that can't happen in March and April. That's unacceptable. So there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, and the lines need to be established. And on a side note, last night, I don't know if it was just me, but it looked like Nylander just didn't play with any passion last night.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
but you've always had that questioning about him, and I can't really defend that because he did look like that.
but it really looked obvious last night. Even though he assisted on one goal, it just looked real obvious, and I don't know what the
I
deal is,
think we're
but
just it's coming down to the end of the season. They clinch the
maybe he's
playoff
just
berth, and he knows he got his amount of points that he needs to get, and he's just like whatever.
I don't know.
That's my
I'm trying to work
maybe
towards
he's
100
sick.
points at
Maybe he has
least.
a cold.
Maybe he's got a cold just like me, but I would have tried still to work towards that 100 points.
I mean, you put in a lot of effort today, so I got to give you credit for that.
Getting a lot of credit out today. I appreciate it,
Yeah, we're
man.
just I have a lot of credit right now. I paid off my debt. Um,
Hey, congratulations, man.
hey, I didn't actually. You got to give the people what they want. So, um, shout out to WrestleMania. There was a lot of wrestling this week. There was a lot of hockey this week. I'm hoping to win both hockey pools I'm in. It looks like it's gonna happen. So
To all the viewers out there, stay tuned. Campos is going to be doing his wrestling stuff with those with Putty and Johnny Donuts in another episode.
oh, thanks for the shout out to someone else. We're not a sponsor. Um,
I'm an
if
independent, so
it's independent. Okay, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I do want to bring something up, and it is Leafs talk.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of people seems to be focused on 70 goals for Matthews. Like, do you put him in a position to play the last, like, let's say he's got 69 goals and he's playing that last game? Do you, even though the right decision is to rest him for the playoffs, do you still put him out there
Okay,
to try and get that
that's a
70 goals?
great
Because
question.
before you go, um, you know what? You go ahead and I'll
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, but you better answer this question as well.
sure.
Um, if it's a situation like Brett or like Mike Modano, if it's a Mike Modano situation, no, I don't. I let him play. If there's an empty net and he's one goal away, I'm letting him play. If the Leafs are losing 6-0, I'm benching him for the third period. Do you know what I mean? Like it depends on the situation. If he's going to get that goal and why would I bench him? Let him get it. But if we're getting trashed and he's not playing well, why would I risk his health to score a goal? When he's already the leading goal scorer almost of all time in the Leafs, he already has the most goals per season. He's the only one with multiple blah blah blah. Like who cares? You're not setting any record by scoring 70 goals. You're 17 goals short of the record. So, you know what I mean?
You started it, and I want to even take it even further. I don't give a damn if he gets 70 goals or not. I don't. I want the cup. I want a healthy team that puts them in a position to win a Stanley Cup. I don't care. Like everybody's putting this, they're overemphasizing on the fact that he has to get to 70. He has to get 70. I don't give a damn. Like I want this team to be healthy enough for them to win a cup. If he stays at 60, what is he at 63, 64 now? I think
I
he's
think
at 64.
64.
If he stays at 64 for the rest of the season and he's healthy going into the playoffs, then that is fine with me.
I think this is funny enough. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but I think should he just stay at 64 for the rest of the season is probably better because he won't put himself in at-risk situations. I think the closer he gets to 70, the more he's going to push himself to get those goals and put himself in situations to get leveled. And like, I don't need any Scott Stevens situations right before the playoffs.
Yeah, somebody said the other day that hey, what if that last game he gets slashed in the hand and there goes your goal scorer. I
Yeah,
don't want
right.
that to
Somebody
happen.
you might, what if you're facing the Ottawa Senators,
Who's not
who
in the playoffs?
Brady Kachuk had 21 or 16 hits or whatever he had last night, and he's all pissed off that they're losing 4-0 and decides, oh, I'm just gonna whack this guy in the face with my stick.
Yeah, no, I'm pulling a Keith on Mitch Marner what he did the last couple of years. I don't give a damn if you're about hitting that 100-point mark. I want you rested. I want you 100% for that first playoff series.
You've had
And
good seasons. They're all three of them have had good years this year. Why are we
yeah,
what's there to risk?
what is
Maybe
there
in
to
the
risk?
last game, you take this, and maybe in the last game I don't play any of them.
I mean, I want to ask you about that. Is that possible? Like in the
I think
salary
it is
cap?
as long as the people you bring up are on two-way contracts.
Yeah. I don't understand the salary cap situation when it comes to
It's
something
it's
like that.
it's if the players are not in the game, I think you can do it because there's a certain amount of their like they two-way contracts count on the payroll, I believe. Only buried contracts in the
Okay.
AHL don't count.
Okay. Well, hey,
People who have to clear waivers don't count. It's the people that you can just bring up and down on their two ways that I believe are can play. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me. If someone wants to let us know in the comments, I'm not an expert on NHL salaries. You're usually the salary guy.
no, this one I never understood.
Yeah,
I
well,
never
we'll look
understood
into
this
it.
one.
There, it's very convoluted, all this nonsense.
Yeah.
So did you have anything else?
No, man. I need a break.
All right, well, Nick needs to go have a break, so just shout out to him and thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and peace out.